horrific first half, kagimbal-gimbal, with Alaska leading by as many as 31 points, no? Parang hindi ka panipaniwala. So, at the half lamang po ang Alaska 67-41. And let's go to the deeds list to find out ano ba ang nangyari in that first half.
But for Alaska, back against the wall, they badly needed to win this game to avoid getting in a pressure cooker situation. Defense has been the key. As you see that San Miguel has been held down to only 32% shooting from the floor. They've been able to dictate the tempo, and that's because of their tough defense. Look at the turnovers that Alaska has forced on San Miguel. Plus, they've had so many more steals. And what about those two tourist spots? They have been dazzling. LA and Baguio, the two tourist spots of Alaska, have combined for 22 points, all scored in the first quarter. And Coach Tim Cohn not even really going to those two key players in the second quarter, relying on their second unit players to get the job done further.
Parang may naisip na ako, since tourism, wow, Decano ang galing. Pwede rin. San Miguel, kailangan ng galing. Dito sa second half, kung gusto nila makahabol, let's look at the deeds list for the Beermen.
Well, our team here was looking for momentum because this is San Miguel's last game in the eliminations. They're going to go up in the playoffs with a twice-beat advantage. So far, they haven't been able to dominate with size. As we said earlier on, Alaska is a team that can match up well against San Miguel size-wise. Take a look at the limiting Alaska turnovers, Alaska free throws rather, and that's a check mark for San Miguel. Alaska's gone to the line only for 5 attempts. But the equal opportunity offense has not been there for San Miguel. Alaska, look at this, 17 assists so far in this game, times 2, that's 34 assists. Not heard of in the PBA so far this conference, while San Miguel, only 6 assists, really not sharing the ball efficiently.
We're about to start the second half sa pagitan ng San Miguel at ng Alaska. And Mick Penisi and the rest of the Beermen.
You also see team manager Hector Calma behind over there during the huddle, and just want to be able to say that Hector Calma's daughter Claudia is celebrating her 12th birthday on Tuesday. Hector, of course, has 3 children. There's Danielle, there's Andres, and Claudia is the middle child. And Claudia, happy birthday. Claudia's ninang happens to be my wife.
Don't tell me ito na yung regalo mo. Ito na yun.
I have to ask my wife.
Of course, for the longest time, I was trying to emulate how Hector Calma played as a point guard. I could never do it. I just could never do it. Though his composure, yung kanyang balance on the court, the way he would get every player involved, that was just not my style.
And that's a good way to start for San Miguel, hitting a 3-point basket. You'll need a lot of those, plus excellent defense on the other end to chop down this huge lead.
Starting the second half, para sa Alaska, Joe DeBans had that monstrous first half with 22 points. Kasama niya si Cyrus Baguio, L.A. Tenorio, Sanitos, and Sam Eman. That triple tower combination in effect para sa Alaska.
You know, Joe DeVance has not scored less than double figures in any game this conference. His low was 11 points.
Here's Baguio. Baguio had that sensational first quarter, but has since tapered off, scoring only 3 points in the second period. He had 11 in that first period. For San Miguel, they have Washington, Arwin Santos, Dorian Peña, Dondon Ontiveros, and Alex Cabagdon. Tim Cohn does not want the lumbering giant to wake up. He doesn't want to see a sleeping giant wake up. We call a timeout here just to make sure. And for the latest news about the PBA, even our live score updates, follow PBA on Solar TV on Twitter. Yan, mga mahilig mag-social networks. Yeah. Gino is very active on Twitter. Yep.
Who is?
Gino's very active. I think Gino has like 20,000 followers on
Oh my gosh.
Twitter. Si Dominic yung wala sa Twitter yan. Snap yan eh.
Ako hindi din ako nag-Twitter. I'm already having a hard time updating my Facebook.
Maybe one of these days, Kenito, I will poke you on Facebook. 2 minutes having gone by here in the second half. Bola na kay Arwin Santos, fires the 3. Vance really using that height advantage over Arwin Santos.
Right now, Joe Vance is doing anything he wants to do on the floor. Nobody's stopping him.
Well, if the hairstyle is an indication, I believe you. he will do what he wants. Washington, that's how tough it is to score against that triple tower combination with Tim Cone.
And Joe Vance wasn't even involved in that play.
And I probably added around 5,000. No? Just mentioning that Gino is on Twitter. That's 5,000 additional followers for you. Gino, anong balita?
Assistant Coach Luigi Trillo gave me a few pointers at the half. They are happy with the flow that they have had on offense and the great rotation they are showing on defense. Coach Luigi also pointed out that San Miguel had fits with their matchup zone. Alaska is also pleased that their big lineup has worked so far in this game. By the way, Luigi Trillo and wife Ria Trillo welcomed new baby girl Raquel Beatriz to the family last night. Congrats to the Trillo family. Nico and Kenito?
So a second girl for Luigi Trillo. Kaya talaga mga mababait. They get daughters.
And I understand that their newborn is quite a large baby. I think over 7 pounds. So destined to be an athlete. There's more defense coming from Alaska. We were talking about the size advantage of Joe Vance. With that hairstyle, he actually adds 2 more inches, or maybe 3, to his height.
And look at it. Whoa, look out. Jay Washington practically saying, giddy up. Sinakyan na parang kabayo sa Burnham Park. Ito si Sanitos. Here you go. Giddy up. Look out.
And look at Sanitos. He's still got off a shot.
At tinulak pa. Tinulak pa ni Washington. Mabuti lang mabait na mama ito si Sunny.
Kasi he's the boss. So he has to be kind to his constituents.
Meantime, here's Cabagnot, breakdown move. And he hustles to get the ball back. Bagong shot clock para sa San Miguel. Here's Washington inside. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to try and invade that shaded lane with Vance, Toss, and Eman under the basket. As we go to Dominic Uy.
For the San Miguel Beermen, it's a given that the aces are shooting well, but it's actually partly their fault. They haven't been aggressive on defense, not pressuring as much. And Coach Ato Agustin said, you know, it's a 6-letter word, and it's called effort. They know they got into a great start here in the eliminations, and they don't want to falter in the end.
Tama yan. Siyempre, hindi naman porkit garantisado ka na sa any of the top 2 spots, which of course gives them a price to beat advantage. Ayaw mo naman mag-relax. So Don Ontiveros, he does not want to relax. He hits a 3. He has 11 points.
That's a 4-point play. In effect, the way it happened.
Baguio against Ontiveros. That's a great matchup. And Ontiveros pokes the ball away. Here's Cabagnot. Washington foul. Basket is good.
And here's the uprising that San Miguel was hoping to stage to try to stem the tide. You know, the thing that you notice about San Miguel is, just as Dominic mentioned, the effort that they're showing here. Here's a wide open 3-point shot coming from Don Ontiveros. But before that, San Miguel was very aggressive in going strong to the hole. And that's very important. You know, when you're down by so much, you sort of can take the easy way out and say, let's just take the 3-point shots and try to get back in this game without so much effort. But now you can see that they're very aggressive and going strong to the hole. They're getting to the line. And for Coach Ato Agustin, that is a positive sign.
And they've reduced a big 31-point lead down to just 18. At mabilis silang kinain yung lamang ng Alaska, who still have 7 and 19 remaining here in the third. Here's Baguio. Tenorio. And now the Vance fires. No go. Straight but strong. And one more opportunity for San Miguel.
A law of averages now catching up to Alaska. Remember, in the first half, Alaska shot 77% from three-point distance. That's a 3-second violation.
But Dorian thought Arwin was going for it. I think Dorian and many of the other Beermen thought ititira na yun ni Arwin for three-point country. Now the Aces hoping to regain their bearings here in the third. Tenorio getting the handoff. Tenorio inside, outside the Vance. Back to Tenorio. Tenorio for three. Yes, sir!
And they continue to zero in on that target from long distance.
Wow, Alaska has been red hot from Rainbow Country in this ball game. Washington with 13 points. Narilawang pa rin ng Alaska, 75-56. Tapigan ng bola, nakuha ni Peña. Ni Santos and now Washington. That was a tough shot. Pinulak si Peña.
Player down on the floor.
Look at Eman.
Well, Eman and Peña know each other very well. I'm sure they face off during those San Miguel practices. Eman coming from the Beermen camp.
Kabagdot posted up Tenorio. And he didn't care at all that the help defender was San Eman.
Yeah. Well, he got sandwiched that time, but he got what he wanted. A foul coming from Alaska and a trip to the line.
Foul was against LA Tenorio, second personal.
Don't look now, but with this connection of Alex Cabagnot, this lead will be chopped down to 17.
Make that 60. Oh, check that, yes,
No,
17.
17, yeah.
Which is good. Kasi kanina nahihirapan na mag-calculate eh. May mga carry 1 na eh. Kanina, 31 points ang lamang ng Alaska. But San Miguel really threatening at this point. As we cross the halfway mark of the third. Toss. The Vance, baseline. Hang time. Eman, no go. Eman again. Wala pa rin.
It's a hard life underneath the boards, believe me. And Sam Eman is going to go to the line.
And the logic is, the taller you are, the easier it's supposed to be. But that's not the case para kay Sam Eman with the expectations of people and the way other players defend him inside.
Oh, here's some offensive rebound by Alaska.
Tenorio on the right side, 14 to shoot. Cabagnot really bothering LA in the backcourt. But Tenorio misses that three. Toss trying to save that ball. Pero bola pupunta sa panig ng San Miguel. And Sam Eman will sit down with 4 personal fouls. And Tony De La Cruz takes his place, adding more speed dito sa unit ng Alaska. Under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And a pull-up by Cabagnot almost rattles in. Here's toss. Back to Tenorio. Shot clock down to 13. Here's the Vance. Pass was intended for toss, broken up by Washington.